Have you ever asked yourself, why is this taking so long? I've been on this journey for months after months, years after years, and I'm not quite getting the results that I'm looking for. Could it be that you're getting in your own way? In this video, we're going to look at the importance of having a vision and why it's important to keep our eye on the vision and not necessarily on the view that we currently have. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." And there is no better reference, in my opinion, in the Bible than the people of Israel. Right? I am zero, not even close to being a professional on the Bible, but I love this story. If you haven't heard of it, let's go through it quickly. The people of Israel were slaves in Egypt, and God performed a series of dazzling miracles and got them out. And they were to be led to the promised land, which was just around an 11-day trek from Egypt to the promised land. It took them 40 years to get there. Actually, it took them 40 years and they never got there. And do you know why? They started to complain. Actually, in the Bible, it's a word that is called murmuring. And they started to lose sight of the vision of where they had to go because of where they were. They started to complain about their food, about their hydration, about the environment. They started to complain about everything, about the leadership, forgetting where they were going. Right? And so what usually takes an 11-day trek turned into a 40-year never getting to the destination type of vacation. Now, here's what it means to me. It's very important to go through it, guys. Where there is no vision, the people perish. So anytime we're going to take on a project, it's so important to start with the end in mind. What does that do? What is the end? Well, the end is the product that we want. It's what is the final, where do we want this to bring us? And so we have to keep that in mind all throughout the process. And we must fall in love with the process. But as we are working towards that final product, that final result that we want, we have to make sure that we never lose sight of it. And we don't get attached to what we see presently. And that's why. Because if we get attached to what we see in our present day lives and lose sight of the vision, we will never make it. So as you take on new projects, as you take on new relationships, as you take on new endeavors in life, let's focus again. It's great for what we want, but also who we want to become. All right, I never lose track of that and live it every single day. And here's another thing, a little bonus that I want to add to that. Complaining. Jim Rohn went through this story, and I love how he puts it. He says, "Spend 5 minutes complaining, and you have wasted 5. And you may have begun what's known as economic cancer of the bone, where surely they will soon haul you off into a financial desert and there let you choke on the dust of your own regret." You know, complaining doesn't bring you anywhere great. Actually, complaining keeps you exactly where you are. And if we go forward to the story of the Israelites in the promised land and how they were to make it to a place grandiose, as they would say, and never made it, what was the one thing that they all did together? They complained. And that kept them right where they were, in the wilderness, for 40 years, to die. Now, does it have to be that drastic for us? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. But I ask you, how much time do you spend complaining? And has it brought fruit? Has it brought you closer to where you want to be, to your destination, to that promised land? If the answer is yes, then by all means keep complaining. But of my experience, no level of complaining has brought me closer to where I want to be. And more importantly, who I want to be. Because I don't want to be a complainer. So on that note, when you find yourself on that edge of just about to say something and complain about, remember that there are always two sides to a situation. And the side that you decide to focus on will build the fabric of your life. Let me say that again. There are always two sides to a situation. And the side that you decide to focus on will build the very fabric of your life. So on that note, what is the vision of your life? The vision of the things that you want, and more importantly, the vision of who you want to be. Is God part of it? If he's not at the head of it, it's probably not great. That's my opinion. And remember with every single step to keep that vision in mind as you go through the process. And keep complaining at a minimal, if not at zero. It was your boy Avatar Fit. Stay blessed, and keep applying everyday progress.